A group of people go into a cave to explore. A few hours was in the cave, but going out they discovered has been through thousands of years. What were they going through in the cave? This is a sci-fi movie named Time Trap. Hopper is a professor of archaeology. He was in isolated places with no people. He found a 16-seater car that had been abandoned for many years. There was a notebook in the car. Next to the car there is an entrance to a deep cave. Hopper examined the mountain above. He discovered there was a cave. So he immediately went to explore. Entering the cave he found a man standing motionlessly. On the back of pants there is also a gun. He called out a few times but that person still had no response. At home he told a story on the mountain to two of his students, Jackie and Taylor. Because of safety he decided to go alone. He went to the cave in the mountain and still saw the man in jeans standing there. Hopper immediately approached the person when he felt an invisible screen before his eyes. After touching it, Hopper went inside. And the story continued for the next 2 days. Taylor and Jackie found out that Mr. Hopper had not returned yet, so the two decided to look for him. They called Kara for taking her father's jeeps. At the same time they also brought with Kara's sister Eves and her friend Fabi. People quickly found the 16-seater car. Taylor found in the car has a photo. They are Mr. Hopper's parents. It turned out he wanted to looking for his family's trace. At this time they found a very old rope. When they followed the rope everyone saw a cave. But the rope leading to the cave wall was split. Because she wanted to find out, Taylor told Fabi to stay outside of the cave. Then the others tied another rope to climb down. Then they reached the bottom of cave. After Professor Hopper stepped over the screen. Then the man in jeans also slowly moved and gradually returned to normal speed. At this time Hopper appeared outside with a constant flash. And then the inside movement was transmitted to strange sounds. He felt that something was wrong, so he immediately ran outside. As a result it was already dark outside. When he got back to his car, I found that his car was full of weeds. It looks like it's been abandoned for years. Hopper also saw the Jeep that Taylor and his friends drove here. He saw Taylor's backpack in the car. He guessed his students also came here. Feeling something was wrong he immediately returned to the cave. Hopper holding electric fluorescent sticks, then throw it out inside the cave. When he went to the screen, then the fluorescent stick was floating in the air. It's like time stops. Hopper then walked past the screen. When the cane fell to the ground, he continued to go inside the cave. The group of Jacks has gone deep into the cave. They also hear strange noises, so they decided to crawl out of the cave. But when Jack followed the rope before, but it was broke. Jackie was falling and got injured in his leg. Taylor's wrist was also injured. Taylor argues that little Furzy deliberately cut the rope. He immediately attached to the dress to call the boy. But after a while the inside cave echoed the Furzy's cry for help. In order to investigate the truth they continued to go deep within. They came to a cave with light from outside. Kara immediately climbed on the large rock to see. When she was about to climb out she discovered Fabi's body. Everyone watched the boy's camera. To everyone's surprise it turned out that Fabi had been out for a few days. In a bored time he went over and over again Hopper's parents' notebook. It turned out they wanted to go save their seriously ill daughter. So they just came here to find the water of eternal. Because he had used up all the food and drink. He had to climb down from the rope that Hopper left behind. He climbed down to find everyone but because the rope was cut off. Because they want to investigate, everyone had to let Kara climb to the cave. When she climbed out to the mouth of the cave, then she saw that the world outside had turned desolate. Kara was amazed. The atmosphere here is also extremely hard to breathe. Kara looked for a signal to connect with the radio, but only sand blew. She saw a large spaceship in the air slowly moving. So Kara hurried back to the cave, tell everyone what she saw. But they told Kara that You have only been away for a few seconds." Kara immediately gave the video recorder to everyone to see. Taylor guessed that the time in the cave and outside may not be the same. The light in the dark at the cave entrance was most likely the sun rising and setting. Every flash could possibly be a day. And the rope was not cut by someone, but rather as a result of friction over a long period of time. After that they saw Furby's video again. Then discovered that after Furby fell he was still not dead. Someone used rock and to hit his head to death. Because in order to escape the danger, Kara decided to climb out of the cave again, then drop the rope to save everyone. But the sister carrots from the video Furby finds out. Each time light shines through it is the Earth orbiting the sun once. They stayed in the cave for only a few hours. But it has been thousands of years outside the cave. While everyone was amazed at this, a bar fell from the ground. Then this iron grew bars that cross it. Then became a ladder. Kara quickly climbed it. Then saw someone of black mint climb down. She had to climb back down. There was a large man in a full bodysuit going down. At this time there was a wild person appeared in the cave. He jumped on the back of the tall man. Tall man quickly escaped, then used a strange rope to tie him to the ground. Taylor and the others were so afraid of the tall man that they rushed to the cave. They met a female body. Looking carefully, it was Mr. Hopper's mother. Her body was still warm, as if she just had died. At this point the wild people discovered Taylor's group and rushed toward them. Taylor wanted to let everyone escape safely, so he stayed to fight those wild people. They used stones to beat him to death. Jackie's group ran away from the savages. But Kara was not sure about Taylor. She turned to look for him. Now the tall man has also arrived. He spreads the water in the lake with a can, then drags Taylor into the lake. Kara was furious. At this moment, two wild people suddenly appeared. They rushed to fight. Taylor suddenly woke up. The mask of the tall man was removed. Fortunately, Kara helped the tall man to defeat him. But the tall man's life-sustaining system seemed to have been damaged. Due to their language barriers, neither side could communicate. Before he died, the tall man showed a video for them. That is the world in the future. The Earth is no longer suitable for human living. Humans have moved to Mars. This made people realize that everything they got used has passed forever. While they were feeling hopeless, then Taylor saw Professor Hopper's backpack. To find him, Taylor went alone to the other way. Going inside the cave, he saw Mr. Hopper is seriously injured, and in front of Mr. Hopper there was wall of light. His sister is inside. At the same time, appeared many people in different eras. It is very clear behind this wall. The timeline inside is much slower than it does outside. And all of this is protecting the immortals inside the cave. Taylor wanted to save Mr. Hopper, so he returned to get the water of External. At this time the wild men also got the water of External to cure their accomplices. Then they quickly chased Taylor's group. Taylor took out the ladder left by the tall man, then used the ladder to climb out to the cave. But when they were climbing out, then Kara discovered the cave entrance was covered by water. Again a large arm pulled her upwards, and underneath the savage pressed the button of the ladder. So the ladder shrank back to an iron bar. Then Kara was grabbed by a large arm and was put on strange mask. She saw Taylor's group motionless in the water. After that Kara gradually disappeared, and suddenly appeared ropes in the water, and tied Taylor up with the others. Kara was also wearing a black suit that came out from the water, and pulled the three of them up. Only a few seconds later a lot of ropes emerged from the water surface, went deep into the cave. Little Furby woke up from the water and realized he was in a spaceship. He saw two crews who looked like aliens. And at that moment Mr. Hopper suddenly emerged from the water. He also felt extremely strange at what was before his eyes. Then Jackie's group immediately came in front of them. They seemed to have adapted to life here. Then Mr. Hopper's parents and sister also emerged from the water. At this time the spacecraft has took off from the Earth. Took them to the world of new human civilization. The movie here is the end. This is a very fantasy movie. It expresses human thinking about time. The future. Only a few hours was in the cave, but the world outside have passed thousands of years.